Play at Novabet.
We're here after day 2 of Cheltenham, another big day for the Irish. Willie Mullen's got his 100 winner on the board. And I'm back again to review the day with Ken Whelan. Ken, you are on track again today. Great atmosphere around, I suppose, with the Irish winners coming in.
Yeah, it was super. I suppose all the expectation of the day was Willie going to get his 100 winner. On paper, it looked like it was just how quick he was going to get it. And it went down to the wire in the end. One little upset in the middle of the card. The cross-country race was abandoned this morning. They fit the course, or they found a fit for the middle of the course not raceable. I think they might have overreacted. It was a really dry day. I don't think we would have had an inspection if it was in Ireland, but obviously the British authorities have their own stance on it, and a lot of expense on people that travelled, Irish people especially, travelled over with horses. I know you had plenty of them that had runners here anyway, but they missed entries in other races. Like Foxy Jack could have ran, and Gordon would have found races for his other horses, and plenty of people, Gavin Cromwell, plenty of people had entries in it. And they would have found other races during the week or handicaps or whatever they wanted for them. So that was a bit of a disappointment start to the day, but then all heads turned on the first race. What time was racing going to start? So they put a 45-minute gap between each race. Talk was, would they move the first race back a half an hour or whatever, but they didn't. 45 minutes gap, so it was the same time scale, but just one race less. And just give more of a build-up to everyone to see Ballyburn. And what an amazing performance that was. Paul at his best. Don't think he did have to be at his best on him today, but he didn't look very straightforward, right? But Paul said after, he actually looks worse than he is. So he was a good ride. Bolted up again after yesterday's with Henry's winner. And after being that 17 lengths over 2 mile, you'd say, well, he doesn't have a lot to do to come out here and do this, but the manner he done it was the main thing. And Willie had 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, in it.
He had the first 5 home, I think, actually, did he?
Yeah, first 5 home, but definitely the first 4. So Sean O'Keefe finished second, got a great spin out of that. Patrick was a little bit disappointed with the third horse. He said he ran well, but didn't run it to his mark or to what he can run it. So I think everyone in general, Brian Hayes was very happy with his horse and said he'd be a lovely horse next year going on over fences. But wow, Ballyburn was just breathtaking, and I think he's lived up to everything he promised to be.
Yeah, definitely. The hype was definitely justified. And Willie kind of mentioned champion hurdle, but, chasing, hurdling, I'd say whatever he wants to do next year, he'll be right up the top of that division. But went on to the next race then, and it was a high pressure ride for Mark Walsh, but I thought he was really, really cool on Fact to File. Very good winner there as well.
Yeah, and there's so much, Willie has so many favourites and so many odds on shots all week. You're kind of saying, like, one of them has to get turned over, and which one is it? And this, I suppose, today, if one of them was going to get turned over, you'd imagine could be this one, because he was relatively inexposed. He's second, he'd only 2 runs over fences. The race in Leopardstown, he didn't have to race over the last few really because Gaelic Warrior was gone. But the manner he raced over the first few was very good. He'd never run over 3 mile. He didn't run over hurdles. He was a 7-year-old. And Willie and JP and the connections decided this was the route for him. My God, he was very good, and Mark was brilliant. But Mark is one of our top riders for many years now, and he has the JP McManus job for a reason, because he's cool under pressure. He doesn't ever really get the job not done if he has to. He doesn't get beaten. The horse, he should get beaten. And he was very good. I actually fancied, and I'd done a few previews there, and I thought Monty Star would run. Maybe if anything was going to come out and pick up the pieces, it could have been Monty Star. And I think he ran the cracker. Rachel or Henry's horses proved yesterday what form they're in. He had the winner yesterday. He had loads of players' horses, and again today he stepped up here. And Rachel had a savage spin off Monty Star, popped out handy, set him in when there was plenty of pace, and gave Fact the File a little bit of a fright. Probably not a wicked fright, but gave him a little bit of a fright. American Mike made probably too many mistakes, and Sandor Killan of Paul Nolan's, which probably got in a bit tight at last, broke his momentum and maybe cost him from being first 1, 2, 3 for Ireland, but he's running a cracker as well. So, like, we've proved it so thus far anyway that we're rocking the novices and the graded races. We haven't won a handicap, but we've won everything else that's worth winning.
Winning the most important ones, I suppose, and Henry's horses being in flying form, he was able to capitalise on El Fabiolo making that bad mistake in the champion chase. But Captain Guinness finally got his win on the big stage, I suppose, so a deserved one. And I'd say it was notable the reception Rachel Blackmore got, even a result like that for the punters. She still tore the house down in Cheltenham.
It was magic. Lady B, as I call her, she's a star. And I was speaking to someone this morning about her, and they asked, like, Rachel's flying, but like, bottom of the line is Rachel's probably no stronger than any lad. She's probably not as strong as near as strong as some of the lads in the weigh room. She's very fit. She's hard as nails. She's very dedicated. And what she does, she doesn't complicate the game. She does everything you tell it. Any child growing up, if they're playing soccer or hurling or football or rugby or whatever they're playing, just do the simple things right. And she's so good at doing that. She loves the pressure. She really builds on that. And Captain Guinness, he's been knocking on the door. He showed so much potential for the last couple of years, and he deserved to get one of these big pots. And it was great for Henry. As we said, he's been a great ambassador with Cheltenham. I think 27 winners now in Cheltenham. Rachel's got her Gold Cup, her champion hurdle, and her champion chase now. And the owners are brilliant. Declan Landy, he's a big owner. He's from Kildare there. He's not a big owner as in with racehorse, but he's a big part of the breeding aspect of racing. And he's a man that persisted with what looked like was going to be a champion. Didn't follow up on that, but today proved that, you know what, I'm entitled to be there. It was brilliant for them. Mark got a great spin again out of the Gentleman to Me. Thought for a second when they turned in. Rachel cantered in and she got a little bit, just looked like she was flattening out a bit. Gentleman to Me came with a bit of a rattle, a grade 1 winner himself over fences, and just couldn't get to her up the hill. So I know it was probably, sure, you know, being involved with Willie's there and riding out, it was kind of a dreary place after the race, but they know they can't win all the races. And El Fabiolo came back, he was sound. It was just a silly mistake. He slipped to the back of the fence. And Paul, I suppose, could have grabbed a hold of him and let him travel on after him. But Paul was thinking of entries coming up, Punch Songs coming up, Fairy House coming up. I've had a lot of races coming up for this lad. And if there's a little bit of a muscle problem or anything, I don't know, because it's just after happening. So I'm going to go on side of caution. And I think it was a great bit of riding by Paul to make a big call on such a big ride. And especially, you had the Willie 100 winner, Mark.
Yes.
All the pressures.
It wasn't an easy one.
No, all the pressures. But the Queen of Racing, the Queen of Cheltenham, Lady B, she stepped up and she capitalised, and it was brilliant. And the reception she got, like I said earlier, they just love her over there. So look, it was brilliant. And the reception that she got when she came back in was unbelievable. So it's well-deserved. She deserves it all, and Henry deserves it all. They've all had their ups and downs, but that was good things come to those who wait.
Definitely. I had El Fabiolo on a few accumulators, but if anyone's going to beat you, it's good to see Rachel do it, I suppose.
Yeah, and you know what? You could nearly feel the relief coming from the bottom of the bookies ring, or from the bottom of the stands, all up by the bookies ring when it happened, because there was so many accumulators upset. And I'd say they were after getting a good clean last year, like day one and the first few races. I'd say he was the banker for a lot of accumulator, the middle leg maybe if they had something else later on, but he was definitely in every accumulator was done. And I'd say maybe the bookies, can you see people can they're all right.
a sigh of relief. Hopefully we'll get them back tomorrow. But onto the bumper then, and Willie did get his 100 up. Jasmine DeVoe, Patrick picked the right one. It's very fitting, I thought, as well, for him to ride his father's 100 winner at the festival. I'd say there was big celebrations in the ring after
There was
that.
big celebrations, and I'm sure there will be big celebrations. I asked the boys, I asked Patrick, I asked Danny, I asked all of them, Paul, what would win the bumper, and they said there was nothing between any of them. They couldn't really separate them. And as it turned out, Patrick wins it. On like they made a favourite, I suppose, the favourite of the Willie horse, because Patrick would have first choice in the bumpers, and he picked that. And it was probably after Ed Fabiola's disappointment and just thinking they might get Willie's 100 winner and the great owners and that, Simon Muneer and Isaac Goat, it was great that they owned the winner probably. But I'd say the biggest factor was Patrick tried Willie's 100 winner in Cheltenham. Can't be taken off in that fact. And I was leading up Michael O'Sullivan in the bumper actually. I got to lead 1-9 of them up, and I was saying to Michael, could get the 100 winner here, we could get you win. We might get a full-time job out of this, but no, we didn't. We ran the crack and finished fourth. But his two horses, or Willie's horses, like he had first and he had fourth and he had fifth and he had sixth. And Gordon Ellie's two horses, Keith Donoghue and Jack, they ran blinders as well. It just proves the ammunition we have, the Irish team have, going into next year for novice hurling. Like Willie had the winner of maiden hurdle the other day in Thurles chosen witness, and that was the last of these bumper horses from last year's champion bumper to win a hurdle race. So it shows you the depth, strength and depth we have heading back over here in place like here in Aintree, and even they have to take each other on the whole year. You know, you go to Thurles next November, or you go to Naas, or you go to Fairyhouse, and this is what you're meeting. You're meeting the second and third in champion bumper, and the winner or the fourth and fifth. And you're just going to earn your kit.
I thought Patrick was really, really good as well on the bumper. Like, he kind of rode him like he was the best horse in the race by a mile. Like you were saying, the lads couldn't split them, but I say Patrick was fairly keen on his fella, and it was great. I suppose for Simon Muneer and Isaac Swade, like Willie has such a strike rate with their horses. Like they must be really. I suppose they made the decision to send a few over to him a few years ago, and it's really reaping out its reward, isn't it?
I suppose the results tell the story. I know you can't make a silk purse out of a pig's ear, but like he just seems to be doing the job right. They're not afraid to run them against each other, no matter what it is here. Big or small trainers in Ireland, they're not afraid to go and take on the next lad. If they think their horse is good enough, they will go, and they have to take them on, because we've only probably 3 or 4 meetings a week, where they have 3 or 4 meetings a day in England sometimes. And I'm sure, like, I don't know, Nicky's horses, he pulled out a good few of them again today, so they're obviously not right, but they don't take each other on during the year. Like, I'd say they look up the calendar and one looks, and if Constitution Hill's going there, well, I won't go there. If he's in Ireland, and if Willie had him, he'd probably run 4 times before Cheltenham, and he'd be taken on by Gordon and Henry and Gavin Cromwell or Joseph, whoever has horses to take him on, they take him on. If they beat him, they beat him. If they don't do it, they had to do it with Isterbrack, they had to do it with Hurricane Fly, they had to do it with all the good horses. So you won't win that and send it home in your box, and Captain Guinness proved that again today. You won't, I'm just getting frightened off by one horse.
You did indeed. And I suppose English have 3 winners on the board so far. What's your prediction for the Presbytery Cup? Will they get many more in the next 2?
The handicaps, they just seem to be minded in the handicaps. Like Largy Dan won today now, Coral Cup, and he won the Coral Cup last year after very same mark.
Lenient, I thought, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, and even after he ran bad the last day, Dan Skelton came out and said, we found a problem, we're treating him for ulcers. But the handicapper left him on the same mark as he won last year, and he duly obliged today. He was very misfortunate 1 year, if not 2 years, in the mountain pipe. So he's a good horse, loves the track. And he came back and done that, and they were very sweet in the second winner. So, like, you meet the Skeltons and you meet some of these English, like, they can train, but they just got a little bounce of luck with the handicap today. Now, they were very dominant in the handicap chase, They had first, second, and third. I think Gavin Cromwell's horse actually was third. They had first, second, and fourth. And in the Coral Cup, they had plenty of. Now Henry ran a cracker in the Coral Cup, finished second as well. So Henry's horse are booming. Willie's horse are booming. Gordon's horses are going really well without just hitting the back of the net. They're hitting the post, but they're not hitting the back of the net. But like Gordon's strongest team are probably yet to come. Tomorrow he's very strong hand in the day, and Friday he's a very strong hand to runners. So I think Gordon is horse are running well. And he'd be happy enough with the way they're all going. I know he'd love to have a winner on the board by now, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Gordon. Jack's riding great, proved it there again. The bumper proved it yesterday on one of Henry's and the Mayor's Lantern Lady. Like they're in top form as well. Just ammunition isn't good enough at the moment, but I think tomorrow could be a different story for him.
And yesterday you told me you give your horse for either tomorrow or Friday. So I'll put you on the spot here now again.
Yeah, I like 2 tomorrow. I like Icar Allen of JP's in the Pretense. Mark Walsh will ride him. He's a 7 or 8 to 1 shot. I think he had a lovely run the last day. I actually ran in England in a Pretense qualifier, and he finished 3rd or 4th. I thought it was a really good run, and I think tomorrow we'll see he's coupled in JP, and Mark Walsh opts for this lad. And I think he's a big player tomorrow. And a real favourite of mine, I helped out Sam Curling a good bit. I do write a bit of work for Sam, and he's got Angels Dawn back tomorrow again for the Kimure. And she's 10 or 12 to 1 shot. Pa King rides her again. They bring her over. She stays half an hour away in the yard. She's not the best of travellers. Karina Bow comes with her. She looks after her like she's a child. And she brings her up, and I helped her lead her up last year. She gets a bit hot and heavy. And that was probably one of the highlights of my race and life was walking back in with her after, like, just because I wasn't riding, but I was so nervous, and it was just a buzz. And I look forward to helping him again tomorrow now. And I think Angels Dawn is a massive chance as well. So there are 2 I have for tomorrow that I think both of them will definitely be in the frame. And I think very close to winning, maybe.
Lovely. I'm with you at Angels Dawn. I'm hoping she can do the double in the Kimure.
She went up £10 from last year, but the weights there's not a lot between the weights, so she's only £7 or £8 to give away anyway to the bottom weight. So I don't think the weight is going to be a big problem. Yeah,
she had a massive run the Tasties as well last time. We'll wrap it up there, Ken. Anyway, thanks a million for all your contributions, and best of luck for the rest of the week. For all the listeners, thanks for tuning in again. There's an offer here from our sponsors, Nobi Bet, to get some free bets over the week at Cheltenham. But we'll be back again tomorrow to review the day's racing. And thanks again to Ken for his contributions. Great to hear your thoughts on day 2.
Thanks, Emma. Take care.
Play at Novibet.